चटनी के साथ जो है ना आलू के समोसे मिलते हैं।
Air quality in Pakistan exceeds safe limits in all our major cities. In fact, in Lahore, it's 9 times above national guidelines. 135,000 people die every year directly because of air pollution. In the province of Punjab, life expectancy is reduced by 5 years because of poor air quality. All of this also has an unprecedented economic impact. 5.88% of our GDP is the estimated economic cost of air pollution in Pakistan. So I know about all these facts, but not everyone is aware about how major an issue air pollution is. I used to be living back in 2012 till 2017 in Beijing, China. In the beginning when I was there, nobody there knew about air quality, air pollution. I used to talk to people on a smoggy winter morning when the sky was obscured behind a yellow fog, and I'd be like, look, the air quality is pretty bad. They'd be like, oh no, it's nothing to worry about. This is fog, it's not smog. You know how the whole story broke around air quality. The United States Embassy had set up this Twitter feed called Beijing Air, and every hour it would tweet the air quality results. Twitter was not very widely used or accessible in China, so not everyone knew about it. In fact, as time followed, the Chinese government requested the US Embassy to stop publishing this open data around air quality. Well, fast forward a few years, everybody knows that air quality is a big issue. Everyone knows how big a problem it is, about its health impact, about how it can be hazardous in so many ways. So the conversation in many other countries has not yet shifted that far. Today we have a very breezy, nice day in Karachi. Greetings to all of you in Kathmandu. I'm Abid Umar, founder of the Pakistan Air Quality Initiative. How my story started from Beijing to coming to Karachi, Pakistan, was while I was still living in Beijing, I got curious about the air quality back home for me. And like everyone else, I went on the internet and I searched for data on air quality. Yet there was no data to be found. The World Health Organization does publish a database of the ambient air quality for thousands of major cities worldwide. The cities in Pakistan were on it, but I found that the data was outdated. Some of it was from 2008, some of it was from 2011, some of it comprised only a couple of weeks of data. So that led me to thinking, why can't citizens like myself step forward and take up things which should otherwise be provided by other people? But since it wasn't, I reached out through friends, through my social networks, found like-minded individuals who were interested in the environment, who were somewhat aware that air quality could be a big issue, and they helped me set up a number of air quality monitors in the major cities of Pakistan. This is a citizens' initiative. There's no funding. We fund it ourselves. We host the monitors in our homes. What we do is that we make that data freely and publicly available. Just like Beijing Air for China, we tweet every hour on Karachi Air, Lahore Smog, Islamabad Air, and for a number of other cities. And since we've had these monitors online since 2016, here's what we found up till now. If you look over here, I'll show you Karachi, which is where I'm standing right now. The numbers aren't so important right now, but you see a lot of green. We have a lot of moderate air quality for much of the year, but for much of the year, for the winter months, it's unhealthy. Karachi is one of the cities which has somewhat better air quality. We have another city which has very poor air quality, in fact quite similar to New Delhi, and that's Lahore. In Lahore, we see hardly any green. In fact, mostly we see unhealthy and even hazardous air quality for some of the months. In the winter months, it's particularly very poor. So with this data, I started going around, I started talking to people, I started spreading awareness, started telling them what constitutes smog, what is air pollution, and most importantly, how do I protect myself and my family from air pollution. In the beginning, these discussions, these talks fell to deaf ears because they were like, when we look up at the sky, it's fine, and in the winter, there's nothing to worry about. This is fog, it's not smog. But slowly, with the data being put out there, not only did I put it out through these Twitter feeds, I put up a Google spreadsheet where anyone can download the data and analyze it. The monitors I'm using are from a company called Air Visual. They're very low-cost monitors that they're actually meant for consumer use, but they have a very nice ecosystem which is connects your devices to the cloud. It makes the data available through an app. It makes the data downloadable through an API which you can use for your own needs. But most importantly, it helps people simply to use an app and connect to the data. It took about a year before the media picked up the story and started realizing that air quality is a big problem. In fact, it was the New York Times that broke the story about air quality in Pakistan. The point being that without data, the media couldn't report what was out there. There was ignorance. Nobody knew what's in the air. Let me give you another example of how air quality data, especially open data, irrespective of the source where it comes from, whether it's coming from the government or from a citizens group such as the Pakistan Air Quality Initiative, how open data can help. In 2016, another group of citizens in Lahore filed a case in the Lahore High Court where they wanted to address the issue of smog. This was a group of somewhat aware citizens who believed that air quality was a problem, so they filed a case expecting that the government is going to act on it. This case went nowhere for a year. A year went by, the winter smog hit Lahore again in 2017, but by that time, since our data was out there and there was certain awareness, one of the lawyers got to be aware of this data and actually submitted the data from the Pakistan Air Quality Initiative for Lahore. We printed out the data and actually submitted like a 20-page document with hourly average values of what the air quality looks like. In certain countries like Pakistan, it happens that, even experts don't know what's going on. So there was a kind of an ignorance or a denial about the problem. But when the judge was faced with the data, he could actually act. And literally overnight, he ordered the Environmental Protection Department of Punjab to come up with an action plan to address smog. In fact, it was very unprecedented that the court met up till midnight for a couple of days until they established some basic ground rules on how to go ahead with addressing smog. The outcome of this was that they set up a Smog Commission, of which I was also part of on the peripheries, on one of the subcommittees, that came up with a set of policy recommendations to address the smog crisis in Lahore. Without data, none of this would have happened. Without data, the media wouldn't have picked up the story. Without data, the High Court wouldn't have been able to say that it's time to take action. Without data, we would have continued to be ignorant. The Lahore High Court said that now the Environmental Protection Department also has to monitor and release air quality data in real time, and they've started doing that. Again, thanks to data provided by citizens. The state where we are in Pakistan right now is that we have realized that smog is a public health emergency, but you're still very, very slowly starting waking up to the issue. I'm looking forward to working closer with other members of the community, of the environment, other organizations who are now also waking up to the issue. For example, the WWF in Pakistan will be hosting a conference on air quality this winter. So this is a very big step. It's expected that the new government that's going to come in literally next week is also going to announce some sweeping moves in terms of air quality and actions. They're talking about planting 1 billion trees, which will of course have some impact on climate change. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak with you guys and in Kathmandu for Clean Up Nepal and for Air South Asia, and we're looking forward to some kind of a better collaboration in the future.
वहाँ पे चटनी के साथ जो है ना आलू के समोसे मिलते हैं वही।
यहाँ शहर की जो शोर है ना वो भी छन छन के आ रहे हैं, समाधान के लिए अच्छा लग रहा है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
बिल्कुल उसको छान के आ रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल।